Have you ever stepped out of the salon, looked in the mirror, and felt older? Not better, not refreshed, just not quite yourself. It's a quiet disappointment, isn't it? You came in hoping for light, for lift, and instead something in your reflection feels heavier, dimmer, and the worst part, you can't quite explain why. You're not alone. I've seen this exact moment cross the faces of so many women. Graceful, radiant, confident women who've been coloring their hair the same way for years. It's familiar, it's safe. It used to work. But somewhere along the way, it stopped flattering. The color that once made your skin glow now seems to drain it. The vibrancy you used to feel? Somehow replaced by shadows and sharpness. This isn't about vanity. It's about how we want to feel when we see ourselves. Seen, softened, alive. So today we're going to uncover a quiet truth. The wrong hair color can age you, but the right one. It doesn't just flatter, it illuminates. It brings back that subtle glow, the kind that doesn't scream for attention, but gently whispers, "She's still got it." We'll walk through 3 common hair color mistakes that add years and 3 beautiful fixes that bring your features, your skin tone, and your confidence back into harmony. If you've ever looked at your reflection and wondered what changed, this video might be the answer. And if you find this helpful, I'd love for you to stay with us. Like, subscribe, and let's explore this together. Part 1. The hair color mistakes that add years. Let's start with the hair colors that might be silently working against you, and why even the best salons still get them wrong. You see, aging doesn't announce itself overnight. It arrives slowly, quietly, in small shifts. The way light touches your face, the softness that used to sit in your cheeks, and more than anything, the way color on your hair, on your skin, either flatters you or betrays you. And sometimes, it's not your reflection that changes first. It's the feeling. The first time you glance in the mirror and think, why do I look tired? Why don't my eyes sparkle like they used to? Sometimes, it's not sleep or skincare. Sometimes, it's your hair color. Let's begin with a classic, solid jet black. For many women, black has always been a symbol of strength. It's bold, polished, chic. You wore it in your 30s and 40s and it defined you. Your signature, your armor. But as we step into our 60s, something subtle but significant begins to shift. Our skin softens, pigment fades, the contours that once held contrast blur, and what was once dramatic now becomes harsh. Solid black frames the face like a box. It draws a sharp line around your features, exaggerating the difference between hair and skin. And what does our eye naturally do when faced with that kind of contrast? It hunts for detail. It clings to every shadow, every fine line, every crease, every uneven tone. Instead of lifting your face, jet black hair can weigh it down like a heavy picture frame around a painting that no longer matches the room. But let me be clear, this doesn't mean you have to abandon black. There's no shame in loving what once made you feel confident. But maybe it's time to soften it. Think espresso. Think chocolate with lowlights. Think of adding depth and warmth in quiet ways, so the black still honors your past, but finally supports the woman you are now. And now, the opposite end of the spectrum. Platinum or ashy blonde. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Blonde is supposed to make us look youthful, light, carefree. And when grays start coming in, many women reach for those icy tones, hoping to blur the difference, hoping for ease. But cool blondes don't always give what they promise. In fact, they often take away more than they give. Here's the quiet truth no one tells you. As we age, our skin naturally loses warmth. The peach, the pink, the golden undertones fade, and what remains is more neutral, even sallow. So when you place platinum blonde or cool ash right next to that shifting skin tone, it doesn't brighten. It competes, it steals the light. And suddenly, what you hoped would hide the gray is actually washing you out, flattening your features, making your smile look tight, your eyes look tired. Have you ever looked at a photo and thought, why do I look so pale? It might not be the lighting. It might be your hair. And then there's the upkeep. You know the drill root touch-ups every 3 weeks, sometimes sooner. Chemical lighteners that leave your hair brittle, dry, prone to breakage. Here's the emotional peak. Pause. Let the audience feel this. How much of your time, your money, your energy is being spent trying to maintain a color that no longer gives back what it used to? And more importantly, why are we so afraid to let go of it? Blonde can still be beautiful, but maybe it's time to warm it. A little gold, a touch of champagne, something that softens, that flatters, that glows instead of freezes. And finally, the most common mistake I see: flat single-process brown. It's the go-to for many women who want something natural, something safe. A medium brown box dye from the drugstore, applied from root to tip, month after month, year after year. And on paper, it makes sense. It is gray. It's not too dark, not too light. It gets the job done. But here's the problem. It's flat. One note, one tone. No movement, no light reflection. It's like applying one shade of foundation across your entire face with no blush, no contour, no highlight. Just a single color all over. And nature doesn't work like that. Even children's hair has dimension. Sunlight hits the top differently, roots grow darker, ends lighten in summer. But flat brown, it creates what colorists call the helmet effect. It sits on your head like a shell, heavy, lifeless, and often these colors lean ashy to neutralize red tones. But that ash doesn't just tone down your hair, it drains your skin too. You've seen it. That dull, muddy tone that somehow makes you look both tired and stern. It doesn't soften anything. It doesn't bring anything to life. And, worst of all, it becomes invisible. Not in a good way. In the kind of way where you start blending into the background. And you wonder, when did I start disappearing? But here's the beautiful part. You don't need to start from scratch. You don't need a dramatic transformation. You just need dimension. A whisper of gold. A ribbon of warmth. Just enough to say, I see you. Because this isn't about changing who you are. It's about meeting yourself where you are now. So if you've been loyal to jet black, platinum blonde, or medium brown for years, this is not a judgment. It's an invitation to soften, to glow, to let light back in. And coming up, I'll show you exactly how to do that, gracefully, subtly, beautifully. Let's move into the shades that bring life back into your face, the ones that quietly say, she's not fading. She's just evolving. Part 2. The hair colors that illuminate and empower. If the wrong hair color can dim your light, the right one can feel like turning it back on. Not in a flashy, dramatic way, but in that subtle, sacred way when someone sees you after a long time and says, you look rested, radiant, like yourself again. That's what we're after. Not perfection, not trend, radiance. That gentle, unmistakable glow that tells the world, I still have so much life in me. Let's begin with a shade that often gets overlooked because it seems too simple. But done right, it's nothing short of luminous. Dimensional brunettes with warmth. There's a richness in warm brunettes that feels like late afternoon sunlight. It doesn't shout for attention, it invites it. It draws people closer. When you layer warm tones, caramel ribbons, cinnamon glints, soft chocolate lowlights, you create movement, soft shadows, light reflection. And that reflection doesn't just sit on the hair. It bounces onto your cheekbones. It lifts the eyes. It softens everything. Imagine a rich coffee brown base kissed with golden light around the temples. Imagine the way it warms your skin instead of competing with it. Imagine the confidence of knowing your hair color is working for you, not just covering something up. That's the magic of dimension. It doesn't scream color, it whispers carefully chosen. It flatters without explanation. It glows without effort. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to go lighter. You don't have to leave your brunette identity behind. You just have to ask your colorist for one thing: warmth. Face framing warmth. A little light where you want softness. A little shadow where you want depth. Even a subtle shift, just 1 or 2 shades, can bring your hair back to life. Because dullness isn't always about darkness. Sometimes it's just a lack of dimension. And if a brunette brings richness, buttery, soft blondes bring light. Let's talk about warmth again, but this time in golden tones. Champagne, honey, butterscotch. These blondes don't fight your skin tone. They partner with it. They warm your features the way candlelight warms a room, softening edges, blurring lines, inviting comfort. If ash blondes make you look sharper, butter blondes do the opposite. They blur. Like a soft focus lens that smooths everything out, not by hiding it, but by wrapping it in something warmer. And for many women, blonde isn't just a color. It's an identity. It's tied to memories, childhood summers, a favorite photo from years ago, a time when you felt seen. You don't have to give that up. You just have to meet that blonde halfway. Instead of platinum, think gold. Instead of icy, think creamy. Look at the difference. On one side, a cool ash tone flattens the skin, drawing attention to the areas we often want softened, the lines around the eyes, the mouth. The face looks tired, pulled down. On the other, a buttery tone lifts everything. The cheeks look fuller. The jaw is more defined. The smile is brighter. It's the same woman, the same age, but the light changes everything. And here's something else worth noting: maintenance. Warm blondes tend to be more forgiving. They don't require constant toning to fight brassiness because they embrace the gold. They allow your natural warmth to shine through, and that makes them kinder to your hair, kinder to your time, kinder to your reflection. So next time you speak to your stylist, try using different words. Not platinum or ash. Try honey. Try golden. Try sunlit. And now for something many women fear will make them invisible. But in reality, it may be the most powerful choice of all: strategic silver and gray blending. Let's rewrite the story we've been told. Gray doesn't mean letting go. It can mean finally arriving. This isn't about giving in. It's about leaning in with intention. True silver, when treated well, isn't dull. It's like moonlight. It reflects, it shimmers, it dances. But here's the key: untreated gray can be uneven, patchy, or yellowed. That's where blending comes in. When you mix soft platinum highlights into natural gray, or add subtle lowlights to areas that feel too flat, suddenly that gray becomes dimensional, modern, elegant, intentional. It doesn't look like you gave up. It looks like you knew exactly what you were doing. And then there's the shine. Gloss treatments, blue-violet shampoos. A good stylist who understands how to nurture silver, not just cover it. The difference between tired gray and luminous silver is not age. It's condition. It's care. It's confidence. And do you know what I hear again and again from women who've made the transition to silver blending? They say, "I feel more like myself than I have in years." They say, "I thought I was going to disappear, but now I finally feel seen." Because when you stop fighting your hair and start partnering with it, something beautiful happens. You stop chasing youth and start embracing power. So whether you're brunette, blonde, or boldly silver, there is always a way to glow. The trick is to listen to your skin, to your texture, to your light. Ask yourself, what color brings softness to my features? What tone makes my eyes catch the light? What shade makes me feel present, not hidden? Because hair color isn't just pigment. It's perception. It's psychology. It's how we reintroduce ourselves to the world without saying a word. Coming up, I'll walk you through how to put this into practice, how to speak to your stylist, how to avoid the mistakes we covered earlier, and what products actually preserve that glow. But for now, let this sink in. The right hair color doesn't just match your skin. It matches your energy. And you, yes, you are still radiant. Sometimes, all it takes is a little light to remember it. Part 3. Putting it into practice. Knowledge is power, but confidence comes when you put it into action. And that moment, the one where you sit down in the stylist chair or stand in the hair dye aisle at the drugstore, it's not just about color. It's about reclaiming agency. It's about choosing not just how you look, but how you feel in your skin. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, one of my longtime clients, Linda, came to me after months of canceling appointments. She's 67, a retired school principal. Strong, warm, quietly stylish. But that day, she looked small, diminished. She told me, "I don't know what to do anymore. Every time I color my hair, I feel like I'm trying too hard, and every time I don't, I feel like I've disappeared." She'd been using the same medium ash brown box dye for over a decade. Reliable, safe. But her skin had shifted. Her hair had thinned. The color that once felt grounding now looked muddy cold. She wasn't asking to be younger. She just wanted to feel like herself again. We talked, we listened, we didn't rush. And that's what I want for you too. Not a makeover, but a real conversation. With your colorist, or with yourself if you color at home. Here's how you start. When you meet with a colorist, don't just say, I want to cover my gray. Say, I want softness around my face. I want to bring warmth back to my skin. I want to look rested, not overdone. These words matter because you're not just asking for pigment. You're asking for a feeling. Ask about your skin's undertone. Has it shifted? Are you more neutral now? Is there less pink than there used to be? A good colorist should be able to explain how tone impacts what works for you now, not what worked 15 years ago. Ask what kind of dimension they'd recommend for your features. Not just highlights, but placement. Where should the light hit to open up your face? What areas should remain deeper to add depth, not flatness? Ask about maintenance. And be honest. Are you willing to come in every 4 weeks? Or do you need something that lasts 8 to 10? Because the best color in the world means nothing if it's not sustainable for your life. Bring photos, but not of celebrities from 20 years ago. Bring photos of real women, real age, real light in their eyes. Women who look the way you want to feel. At home, you're not excluded from elegance. But you do need to upgrade. Skip the one-color box dyes. They're built for coverage, not dimension. And dimension is what creates glow. Look for kits that offer lowlights, glosses, or even two-step systems designed for mature hair. Your hair isn't the same as it was in your 30s, so your color shouldn't be either. Use sulfate-free shampoos made for color-treated hair. Look for labels that say warm enhancing or radiance boost. And unless your skin is very fair and cool-toned, avoid ash or silver shades. They can make you look tired, even when you're not. I want to pause here and speak to your heart because this is where many women feel shame. You don't need to know all the terminology. You don't need to keep up with trends. You don't need to walk into that salon with a Pinterest board and perfect hair vocabulary. You just need to know how you want to feel. Do you want to feel soft? Lit from within? Seen but not stared at? Confident but still you? Then say that. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to feel like you. And maybe that means stepping out of the box dye cycle. Maybe it means adding a warm tone you've always been afraid to try. Maybe it means embracing your silver but with gloss, with strategy, with shine. Whatever path you choose, let it be one that honors your skin, your story, and your current season of life. Because beauty now, it's not about erasing the years. It's about lighting them differently. And when you find that shade, that perfect shade that makes your skin glow, your eyes lift, and your smile soften, you won't look younger. You'll look present. And that is ageless. Maybe it was never about covering the gray or holding on to the past. Maybe it was always about light, about truth, about stepping into the mirror and finally seeing a reflection that honors not just your face, but your journey. Hair color doesn't define you, but it can reflect you. It can echo your softness, your strength, your history. It can remind you and the world that beauty doesn't belong to youth. It belongs to clarity, to presence. And when chosen with care, hair color stops being a disguise. It becomes a mirror, one that says, I've lived, I've learned, and I still light up the room. So tell me, which color whispered to you today? Which one made you pause and think, that could be me now? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story, and more than that, someone else might need it too. You don't need to look younger. You need to look alive. To look like the most radiant version of yourself today and every day moving forward. So stay luminous, stay bold, stay wonderfully, unapologetically you. And remember this, as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. Marianne Williamson. Your glow isn't just allowed. It's needed.